Hello, food lover. Okay, so you're gonna make a recipe app with Sanity CMS on the cloud with manageable projects, or you just wanna make it for fun, or you just wanna make a recipe app to put as a project in your portfolio, or you wanna make a recipe app in order to make billions of dollars. So you have came to the right place, I suspect. So let me give you a demo of our recipe app. Okay, so this is our app. So in our app, we have a scroll view there. We can scroll through recipes. We can click on a recipe in order to view it. We can click on pizza. We can see the ingredients of the recipes, and then we can click on steps in order to know the steps. So this is how you create pizza, and then you can go back to ingredients. You can check out all of the ingredients that is used to make the recipe. You can go back. You can view another recipe. You can see all of the ingredients. You can click on step. In the steps, you will see how to make the app, make the recipes. Alright, and then you can go back by clicking on the arrow. So it's so cool. You can save recipes. You can search through recipes. By the way, these functionalities, the search and the saved recipes, will be implemented in a later video because those are some complex functionalities, requires a longer video. So we are gonna do that. And mostly the reason you came into this video honestly is for Sanity CMS. Okay, so let's be honest, you came here just for this. Alright, so you are gonna learn how to make a recipe app. You are gonna learn how to implement this CMS. So as you can see, we have plain rice, we have quick dal fry, we have pizza, and we have oats roti. And then if you now add a new recipe, you can click on this icon, and then you can upload an image. So for the image, I'll go to unsplash.com and search there for something like suggest me a food in the comment section. Alright, so let us search for bread, and then for bread we could get something. Yeah, this we can download it, and then in here we have the bread. We can upload the file, and then in the title we can write the bread. Then we can add ingredients, so flour. Then we can have there water, salt, etc. And then we can have steps. So these are the steps to make your recipe. Then you can publish the recipe, and then you will see your recipe appear in your app in real time. As you can see, the bread has appeared here. That's so cool. So now we can just toggle the steps. We have our steps as well, and you can access your bread from below here as well. So you're gonna make it. It's so easy, it's not at all complex, trust me. Now you have came here, you gotta make it now. By the way, if you are planning to go ahead with the video, you are gonna learn so many things in the video. You are gonna learn React bottom tab navigator, you are gonna learn React stack navigator, you are gonna learn styled components, you are gonna learn Sanity CLI, and you are even gonna learn Sanity packages in order to hook Sanity with your app. So what are you waiting for? Just go ahead with the video. Okay, so now what I have done is I have just done their Expo Init recipe app Sanity, and if you wanna follow along with me, you can do the same. Just execute the same command. So the first step of us is setting up navigation for our application. So the bottom tab navigator which you saw in the intro, we are gonna first do that. So for that to happen, you first have to write the yarn add @react navigation /native and @react navigation / bottom tabs, and then react native safe area context. You have to install these three packages in order to set the navigation bar up. So let us go to app.js now, and we have to import a couple of things. First of all, remove all these stylings and stuff. Remove this view as well. Remove everything from here. Just put the status bar style is equal to auto. Yeah, cool. So now first of all, we have to import the things which will let us make the bottom tab navigator. So first of all, we have to make the navigation container. So navigation container, we have to import it from react navigation /native, and then import create bottom tab navigator from react navigation slash bottom tabs, and then we have to make a tab variable. So const tab is equal to create bottom tab navigator, and then we can um, wrap everything inside this, and then we can write the navigation container. First of all, in order to set the things up, in order to make the colors, in order for all of those fancy stuff, we have to put the tab dot navigator. We have to first of all make these things. So this is like the parent element of all of the tabs we are gonna make. And in order to set the color up, we have to do the following thing. So I think what I'm gonna now say you is gonna go over your head, not going over your head. And then um yeah, after doing that, I'll tell you what is happening. So first of all, you have to write the screen options is equal to um make another thing. So do this and then write the route. So essentially what we are telling is each and every tab has a route, so taking that, and then we have to make a arrow function there. So we can just write the tab bar icon is equal to colon color and then size, sorry so yeah, so color and then size, and then we have to make a variable as icon name. So basically we are gonna determine the icon which we want based on the route. So we can write the if route dot name is equal to home, then I set the icon name as md home. So if the route is home, then the icon should be md home. So md home from ion icons. So I'll let you know more about that in just a minute or so. So else if route dot name is equal to saved, then icon name is equal to md heart. So as you saw in the intro video, the icon for the saved screen was heart logo. So yeah, that's what is this. And then what we can do is we can return. So first of all, you have to install Expo vector icons. So Expo yarn install yarn add Expo vector icons. So this is what is going to give us access to ion icons. So ion icons from Expo vector icons, and then we can return ion icons. Oops, ion I ion icon name, then size equals to size, and then color equals to the color. All right, so basically we are determining what icon we want based on the route, and then we are gonna set color and stuff dynamically. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna write the tab bar options, so is equal to active tint color. So the tab in which we are presently there, the color of that tab should be hashtag fc 5252, and then inactive tint color hashtag 898989. All right, so this will let us whichever tab which we will be presently there in, it will be colored in this. So this is a kind of red color, and then inactive would be gray. So 898989 is gray color. Now we're gonna be setting up the screen. So first of all, we have to make the dummy screen. So const home screen is equal to, so we are making dummy components for home and saved screen. So make sure you start it with a capital letter, because that's what determines what is your Is it a ordinary function or a React component? So view text, and then we can write there home screen. So and then we can replicate it and then write there saved screen, and then in there inside of the tab navigator we can write there tab dot screen name is equal to home, and then component is equal to home screen, and then that's it. So now if I just save it, we can see we have a tab there, we have a home screen, and then we have our home screen which we made it here. So now in the similar way we can have the saved screen. So save, and then we can have this saved screen. So we have two tabs here. So as you can see, the tab which we are presently there in will be colored red, and the inactive tab will be gray. So that's what I was basically doing right now. I think it went over your head, so don't worry. As you do it more, you will understand it. So now there's a problem. This home header, we don't want the home header. Why it looks so ugly? So we are gonna put that options is equal to header shown false. So now for the home screen we have put an option that don't show the header is shown false. As I save it, it vanished. So we can do the same for the saved screen, and that's awesome. All right, we are going great yet. So now the next step, so we completed the first step, that we have to set up the navigation with dummy things, so dummy screens basically. So the second step is to setting up the Sanity CMS. So for that you have to go into Google Chrome or any browser of your choice and then write the Sanity docs. So the docs are basically heaven. So you best things ever. Okay, so now the first step, so the next step basically, not the first step, no, the second step is to set up the Sanity CLI. So in order to set up the Sanity CLI, you have to first install the Sanity CLI tool. It's made in Node.js, so you have to install it via npm. So npm install Sanity CLI, run it in your terminal, and then after that, the main step. The main step is to write the Sanity Init. So for that I'll open a new terminal window, so right click new window, and I'll open a new tab as well, screen as well. So I can write there, I can go to the uh, development folder, and in there I can make a sanity files, Sanity Init. So I can create a new project and I can name it as recipe app YouTube, and after that I can just press in Y, and then it will be saying that it is creating a data set, but in reality it is doing the same. So just press enter, and then in here this is one of the main steps. So you can choose anything from here, but for the sake of this tutorial we are going to be doing clean, and as it is we are not making a movie project or e-commerce or a blog. So yeah, we are going to be doing this, and then press enter. This is resolving latest module versions. So it finally finished after something like 6 minutes. So now the next step is to explore Sanity. So in order to explore Sanity, you have to go to the folder which you just made Sanity in. So I'll just do ls there. So it was made in this thing, Sanity React recipe app Sanity. So cd recipe app Sanity. We can see there is a lot of things. So first of all, as always, you have to open it in Visual Studio Code. So just open it, then make it full screen as well. So now the if in order to learn Sanity, you have to write the Sanity. So Sanity docs. So it will open Sanity docs in this thing. So in the browser, sorry, not thing. So Sanity Studio, so this thing is known as Sanity Studio. So it is basically a content management system. So what happens is we put the content in here, and in order to retrieve the content from the content management, there's something as content lake, and then they have their own query language as grok, which we are gonna use. So in order to do all of those stuff, we have to first start Sanity. So Sanity start, if we just start Sanity, it will say it's compiling. So let's see. Yeah, so it opens Sanity. So if I just go to localhost 3333, so yeah, I can see I have this thing. So I can, you can sign in with the account which you set your Sanity with. So as of now we don't have any schema. So what is this schema, what is gonna happen now, what is a headless CMS, we gonna learn all of those. First of all, we have to open the schemas folder. So the schemas folder is very important, and then in there we have to write that recipes.js, oh sorry, and then so let us just skim through the schema folder. So schema file, what is schema file doing? It is importing create schema and stuff. Now we are gonna make our own custom schema, so we can just write the export default this, and then a curly brace. Then we have to write the name is equal to recipes, and then title, recipes, type of a document, and then we can just write in fields. So what we have basically done now is we have set the name of the schema which we are gonna set. So schema is basically putting, like if you have made Firebase, if you are familiar with Firebase, so a document of that. So a similar thing but on a real server instead of Firebase. So name is equal to recipes, title recipes, set, we have given name to it. So the fields, we can set in some fields there. Fields, we can just write the first field name, image. All right, so we are making a recipe app, we need an image. So image, title of image with a capital I, so just to create some difference and for not having grammatical mistakes. Alright, so type is equal to image. So and you'll just see the magic of Sanity. Then write the name. The second thing, second schema should be title, name, title. The title should be title with a capital T. They are same things. So yeah, type of a string. Alright, so this is a type string, and then we want another one. So name of ingredients, and this is an interesting one. Title, title again, capital I, ingredients with a capital I. We'll type so much, let's just copy paste it. The interesting part starts now, pay attention. Alright, type of an array, and array of, so it's like basic English, array of type string. So basically we are telling it that we want to set up an array of things which are having string types. All right, so basically an array with strings, an array of strings. All right, so we are essentially saying that. And then the last one, which is name, which is the steps. So name, steps, and then title, steps with a capital S, and then lastly type of text. All right, so this is, we have successfully set our schema up. So now in here, first of all, remove all these comments, it looks ugly. All right, so now we are gonna import the things, the schema which we just now made. So import recipes with a capital R from /recipes, and then in here array, we are gonna write there recipes. So recipes, and now just see the magic. 3 2 1, close your eyes. Now open it. You can see here we see our recipes, and as I click here we see the document. So it's basically a collection of recipes of this schema. And now we are gonna make a new recipe. So let us make a new recipe. We can import an image. So I have an image, I can use this image, so I can put it in here, and I can put a title as oats roti, and I can add ingredients. So as I said you the array thing, so this is the array. I can write that oats flour, then we can write the water, salt, and then what else? Yeah, that's it. So we can write the steps. So for the steps I can just go to lipsum.com and copy some dummy text from there. So this I'm just doing it for the sake of time. You have to write all the steps of the food, and then you can just press in publish. Now it has published. Now if I even refresh it, it will stay where it is. I'll just show you. That's cool. Alrighty, so we have successfully made we have successfully set up the CMS. Right now we can add in new, we can edit, create, read, update, delete, we can do all of those stuff, good stuff. So now the next step is to design the home screen. So now our home screen doesn't exist, it just written home screen. So for that, so first of all we need to be making an src folder. So inside of src basically means source. So inside of source folder I can just write a screens, so screens folder, and inside of src another folder, components folder. So in the components folder I'll be setting up individual components like the search bar, the card, the latest card, and so on. And for the screens I'll be setting up screens like home.screen and then other screens. So first of all I'm going to be making home.screen.js, then import. You know what, I'm not gonna write all of this stuff. I'll just ask, okay Google, write all of this for me.
Okay, master.
Alrighty, so Google has written everything for me. Thank you, Google. So now in app.js I'm gonna import the home screen. So import from dot slash src slash not component slash screen slash home dot screen, and then inside of screen I can just write a home screen. So we are grabbing home screen, and then we are gonna be removing this duplicate and ugly home screen from here, and rather we are gonna be using the real home screen. So now if you see, we can see hello from the home screen. So now let us design our app a little bit. So now import style text view from React Native. So now you can see this text is inside of the status bar. We don't want that. We want beauty in our app. So we can import safe area view, and it ensures that your app remains beautiful. And for that to happen, we have to wrap everything of our app inside safe area view. So as I said, it essentially ensures that your app doesn't mess up with the status bar. So you can see it is not messing up with the status bar anymore. So that's very cool. So now the first thing of our app is the search bar. And so we are grabbing the search bar from React Native paper. So if I just go here, React Native paper, and then I can go to this called stack.github.io, and I can be searching for search bar, and this is the search bar. So it looks cool. We are gonna be designing it even more than that, so it will look cooler. Now for this to happen we have to install React Native paper. So yarn add react and style components. So components. So as in the promo I said, you are going to be learning this that one of those things was styled components. So styled components we are going to be now using. So finally the time to use the styled components. So for the search bar we have to make we have to make our first component, search dot component dot js. So import from React Native paper. I'm going to be importing search bar from here, search bar from React Native paper, import styled from styled components slash native. All right, and now I'm going to be exporting, so export const, let us call it search is equal to, so now this is the fun part. If you don't know style components, if you don't even have any knowledge about it, if you don't have any experience with it, no problem, I'm there. So in order to use style components, you have to import this style, and then in order to make components styled, we have to write the styled. So as you said, as you saw, I am using the styled component slash native. So this native resembles that we are using the React Native version of styled components. If you wanna, now we wanna style this search bar, so we have to grab it. So in order to grab it, we put this brackets and then write the search bar or any component which you wanna style. So now this is how we style, and we put the backticks in there, and then we press 2 times enter, and this happens. So now we gonna put, suppose, border radius. You can write your plain CSS in here, no problem. It's not like the styling of React Native, which I hate. So that's why I use this. I love this. So I can just write that 4px. So I can import search in here. So import search. Wow, it's so intelligent, and it auto detected what is happening in there. VS Code is good. You also use it. So ditch your editor which you are currently using, probably Sublime Text, and use this. This is phenomenal. So anyways, search is done. So this is our search component, and now you can see it is looking cool. But doesn't it look ugly? It looks cool, but it looks ugly. It is counterfeiting with all of the tops and bottoms. We don't want to have that. We want to have cool. We want to make our app very nice. So style, we can make a folder as style. So in style, we can put there, in style folder, not expo, alright, style folder, we can put the styles.style.js. The style folder should be inside of your screens. Alright, so import style from styled components, export const, we can just write that container is equal to styled dot view. So style component slash native, I forgot to do that. So if you wanna style a view, so we can use a dot view. And if you don't want to style a view, if you want to style some component which is not natively available in React Native, you have to put the brackets and use it. So style dot view, we can put a padding in there for of 16px. So we are basically making a container which can give us padding here and here. So we can put an import from dot slash style dot style, and then container here. And now I'm gonna wrap our search inside of container. So now you can see we have some padding here, and it looks cool. And I think we should have a more border radius, so 6 by px. Okay, now it looks cooler. Now I think we should have a placeholder in here. So placeholder is equal to, if you have some experience with HTML forms, you know what placeholder is. So yeah, the same thing. Search recipes. That's so freaking awesome. All right, that's really cool. So now the next step is to make the latest dish holder. So a text here which will say latest dishes. So for that we'll make a style. So X will name it as cat holder. So cat means, it doesn't mean a meow cat, it means category. So export const cat text is equal to style dot text. So I'm using text as it is natively available in React Native library itself. It is not an external component. So yeah, we can use that. And then in there we can just write a font size of something like 16px, and then font weight weight of 400, and then I can just import it here, container text, cat text, meow text. We can put it here. We can put the meow text, it will meow here. Alright. Meow text, no sorry, cat text. You can write there latest dishes. That's so cool. Now it is again touching the above div. We don't want that to happen, so ensuring this not to happen in the future as well, we are gonna be making another variable as spacer. What spacer does is it is providing padding in between things. So I think you didn't understand what did I just say. So now you'll understand it. So spacer we can just put, instead of, we can put it 10px padding, and then import here spacer, and then in spacer we can put it in between. So as you can see, it put padding in there, and the distance increased. So that's what is spacer. The next thing is the card component, thus the top dishes card component. So for that I can create another component. So top dishes dot component dot js. You can again import react from react. So this time I won't be using Google because I want these things custom. Google doesn't put the custom things, so you can't read my mind. We need view text image from React Native, and then we even want styled. Your styled components is our life. Styled components is cool. It's the best thing for React and React Native. I even use it in React. I don't use plain CSS now. So again, you're gonna make a spacer style dot view spacer padding 5px this time. Alright, padding 5px. Why we gonna make spacer? You'll see it in a moment. Const title is equal to style dot text. Why we need a title? You'll see it in a moment. So the title must be having width of 100px and text align 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 of center. You might be saying, what weird stylings am I putting in here? You'll see it in a moment. You'll see everything in a moment. Export const top dish, oops, onst, not onst, const top dishes card is equal to return, return a view which will be having an image. So image single one. So source is equal to, so we have to put a URI, and in URI we can put some URIs. Now it is this, and then we can have style is equal to height 100, width 100, and then we want to have border radius. If you remember, we had border radius there as well, so we will have border radius here as well, so 20. And now we are essentially done. We need a spacer now, spacer, and then a title, sorry, title. So title would be telling that let's say what is this, it's lentils, dal we say it in India. So dal, quick dal fry. So if you don't know what it is, just Google it. Yeah, just Google it. What is this error? Okay, quick dal fry. Now we're gonna be importing the top dish component. So we can remove this, we can remove top dishes dot component, and then we can put here top dishes card, and in top dishes card we can just put it in here. That's so cool. Now we gonna put a spacer in here. So space, that's phenomenal. That's exactly what we wanted. But you see, this spacer is too light. I want, not the spacer, the latest dishes text is too light. I want it to be a bit darker. So cat text we can just increase it to 600. So now it looks better. That's so cool. Now we have made this. The next step is to make the card. So the card which we saw, which we are scrolling in here, so the card will appear here. So for that we'll need React Native paper. As we used React Native paper for the search component, we'll be using the same for the card. So for the card, and we are gonna be styling it a bit. So that's why we are going to be styling it custom. So custom component for that, card.component.js, import card from React Native, and then import, oh I forgot to import React, import React from React itself, not React Native. And then we're gonna be even importing text and view, import text and view, not from React Native paper, from React itself, React Native. And then we're gonna be importing styled from styled component slash native. It's a lifeline. We can't live without styled components. It's so awesome. So now we're gonna be making an info card. So in const info card is equal to styled card. So we are styling the card first of all. Before even starting our app, we are styling the card. So background color of white. We can have border radius of 12 px, and then we can have a display of flex. So basically we are styling the card. We are telling it to have a white background. We're forcing it to have white background, or else I will kill it. We are having a border radius of 12 px. We are asking them to have a 12 px border radius, and then we are telling them to have a display flex to align itself in a fancy manner. All right. So const info card cover is equal to styled, we can just write a card dot cover and then I can just write this, and then here we can just write the border top left radius of 10 px. So essentially we are telling that on the left side top we should have a 10 px of border radius. Copy this 4 times down, then put it border top right of 10 px, and border bottom left of 0, border bottom right of 0 again. So that's what we wanna do. And then const, yeah, that's it. First we are gonna be doing this. So we are gonna be exporting card const card comp is equal to style dot, no, not style. Why style? Is a React component, so a function, all right, with a capital camel case letter, so capital letter basically. So we can put a return here, and then info card, not cover, info card itself, yeah, then we can have a view, then we can have an info card cover. And now what this info card cover does is, it's the image. So you might be thinking what is gonna be happening. You'll see it in a moment. You'll see everything in a moment. Don't cry. Okay, not crying, I know, but don't cry. So I have food, and then source is equal to URI. We can put same URI as this, copy it, paste it in here, and then just save it. And in home.screen now we can call the component. So we can remove this, and then card dot component, and then card comp. Card comp would be below the top dishes card. We have another style component for component undefined. What does it mean? Oh, sorry, it should be React Native paper. I did it React Native, so yeah, that gives us the error, but the error still is there. Okay, it's working. It was because of I put React Native instead of React Native paper. But now we can see our image there, and as I said, it will have border radius on top and not on bottom, and that's looking super cool. Now we're gonna have spacer in there, so again we'll go here and then add a spacer in between spacer. Yeah, that's cool. Now we again gonna go on search.component card.component. Yeah, and in here we are gonna make a info style. So styled dot view, then we can just add a padding of 16 px, and then we can add a const title, so capital T, not small, because it's a component, it's not an ordinary function or a variable. So const is text, text, and then we can have a font size of 17 px. I already made it, it looked cool, so that's why I'm putting 17 px. Text align of center. Now I can put a info there, info, and inside of info I can put a title, and inside of title I can put the quick dal fry. That is phenomenal. So now I think it's a perfect time to hook up Sanity database to our app. Okay, so we finally made up the UI. So in the UI we just made a card, latest dish card, and then this card, and then the search bar. So that's a big progress. But now the next step was to hook up Sanity to this. So here I have my Sanity DB and then a Sanity CMS on my local host. So the next step is to first of all do a sanity manage command. So wherever your Sanity Studio is running, you can just open a new terminal. So in your VS Code, and go to the Sanity folder, and right there's Sanity manage. So now what will happen is it will go to sanity.io and your project name, and now keep this open, and we'll come to that later. So the next step is in the src folder make a lib folder, and inside of lib make a client.js, and inside of client.js, so first of all we can use Sanity. In order to use Sanity we need its packages. So the packages we have to install them. So yarn add the rate sign sanity slash client, and add sanity slash image URL. So we need image URL in order to get these images, and Sanity client to in order to get the text content. Press enter and it will download it for you in your application. Cool. So now we are gonna import them. Import Sanity client from sanity slash client. Make sure to have a small s instead of capital S, because we don't need that. It's not a component, it's a function. So then we are gonna import image URL builder from at sanity slash image URL, and now we are gonna export const client is equal to sanity client, and we are gonna pass in an object in here. So we are gonna write the project ID, and then now this part comes. You have to go here and see we get a project ID here. You just need to copy the project ID and then paste the project ID in here, and then you have to write a data set, and in data set you have to go in here, click on this data set, and then see what is the dataset name. So in my case it's production, and in your case it will most probably be production itself, unless and until you don't change it. So production, and then we are gonna write that API version. So write your date of the day when you are making it. So I am recording this on 25th April, so I'll just write it 2022 04 and then April. So April 24 25, April 25 2022, and then write the use cdn to true, and then token. So now this is an important part. You have to write this, and for the access of your token, you have to go to your APIs here, and then API click the tokens, and in the token create a new token. We can name anything to the token, so we can write the recipe app React Native. So for the React Native app, and choose the rights as editor, so read and write access to everything, and then click save. And then you're gonna copy this, and for the sake of security, make a .env file there, and in the env file you can write a token is equal to this, and then in here you can write the process.env.token. So now it is gonna catch it from the env file and then give it to you over here. So that's awesome. So this is basically what is Sanity CMS in simple terms. So now we even want the images to be available for our application. So we're gonna make the image. So const builder is equal to image, so image URL builder. So basically to get the image URL, you need to use this builder thing. So you have to use image URL builder, and you're gonna pass the client, and then you want to export const URL for. What does this mean? That you'll pass a source to the function. So source, when we get this, if I just show you in here, if I click here and click on inspect, I see there the JSON data of the app, so of the document. So if I just click on image, I see a lot of images, I mean a lot of things which is out of my understanding. So to make it understandable, we use this URL for. It converts it into an understandable URL. So that's what it basically does. Alright, so you're gonna do this now, then you're gonna return builder dot image of source. That's really awesome. So now this is all what you need in order to integrate Sanity. So now first of all, we wanna put the real stuff in here, not the fake stuff. So for that to happen, I'll just make this dynamic. So card component will take props. So as I said, we are gonna be learning props. So in place of props, we are gonna write there image URL and then title. All right, and then in title, in place of this quick dialog, I'm gonna have my title there, title, and in place of my URI, I'm gonna have that image URL. And if I just save it, this everything should go off. But don't worry, we're gonna put the real stuff. We're gonna put stuff from our DB there. All right. So now let us come to this home.screen.js, and in there we're gonna import two things. So use state and then use effect. So how are we gonna use it? You'll see it in a moment. And when are we gonna use it? In a moment. All right. So use effect, we're gonna use effect there, and an asynchronous function. So yeah, we need an asynchronous function to use our Sanity CMS. And then in there, as I said you, we have the query language which we use for Sanity is Grok. So they have made their own query language. If I just write the Sanity docs, it will redirect me to doc. This is Grok, how queries work. You can just click on there and then you can see. So this is basically what is how our query will look like. So not referring to the documentation, you should refer to me. Const query is equal to, so now you're gonna type your query here. So this kind of a query, it's similar to that MySQL query but better. So all right, query, you can put a, you first have to put a star there, and then these square brackets, and inside of square brackets you're gonna write the underline type is equal to, and put this put a speech mark there, and then write the recipes. So if you remember, we put the name as recipes of this content, so now it is gonna come as recipes. So you can write the const recipes equals to await client. So first of all, we're gonna import the client. I forgot to do that. Okay, you don't forget to do that, you have to do that, what I'll be doing right now. So import dot slash lib slash client, and you're gonna import client from there. So as I said you, this client.js, this is what is basically Sanity CMS connection thing. So we are importing that for the text part. All right, for the text part, and for the image part, what we're gonna do, you'll be seeing that in a moment. You're gonna see everything in a moment. Recipes is equal to await. So that's why we used async here, because we are gonna use await. So await client dot fetch the query, and then we are gonna now use state. So const recipes set recipes equals to use state of array. All right, so an empty array. Now what we want to do is set recipes to recipes. All right, so we are getting all the data from here, and we are now setting it up. So now basically what we wanna do is we wanna come to this card comp. So we're gonna remove the card comp now and make these curly brackets in React. So now we are writing the indexing. We are doing the indexing now. We wanna write the recipes. So we set up recipes here. Recipes dot map recipe. Now for each recipe, what you're gonna do is you wanna run this, and then you wanna write the return. You have to make this then, and then you have to write the card comp, and then the title must be recipe dot title. Let's see what happens. Oh, we get an error, and there you go, we are able to see our oats roti there. And if you encounter that kind of a error, just stop your app and run it again. Now if I just go back to oats roti and then change the title from oats roti to a capital oats roti, and then I'm publishing it. Now if I just see, anyways, never mind. So the next step is to get the image. So now in order to get the image, we are gonna import the image URL one. So the image URL is you have to get URL for. So import URL for from dot slash lib slash client. So from the client, we are gonna import URL for, and then in img URL image URL, we are gonna write the URL. By the way, you can see now it's capital R. So as I said, it is updating in real time. URL for recipe dot image, and then dot URL. Now if I just save it, so basically what I did is I called the URL for function. And if you notice this, as I said you before, that we have an image object which we can't read, which our application cannot read. So we are converting that into a URL. So in order to do that, we use our URL for function and recipe.image. So we pass that, and .url basically converts whatever there is into a URL. So now if I just hit save and wait for a couple of seconds, I get to see my oats roti as well. That's so awesome. So now we're gonna be making a scrollable list here. So as you can see it's not scrollable, and I'll show you the problem with that. So I can just try to make another one, and I can drop in an image such as this and give a title as pizza, and I can add an item as bread. Oh, not bread, bread. Then we can have what is that? What do we put in bread? I mean in pizza? Oregano, cheese, olives, and then some salt. Do we add that? I don't know. Some chili pepper, and that's it. In the steps you can write the lorem. So I can go to lipsum.com and copy the steps, publish it. It is published. And now if I just go back to the app, we can see there's something comes which we cannot scroll. So we can see our pizza came here, and now it's working phenomenal. But the problem is that we cannot scroll. I can add a spacer here, so in order to create some spacing in between, but I cannot scroll. What's the use of the app now? I cannot scroll through it. Don't worry, we are gonna be importing, in order to solve this problem, we are gonna be importing scroll view from React Native. And now as we import, did we import style? Yeah, so in style we can create a export const scroll is equal to styled scroll view. So we are gonna import it here. Import scroll view from React Native, not React Native web. So scroll view, capital S, and then we can just put there a height of 90%. And now in home.screen we can import scroll from here, and we can wrap everything from beneath the search bar till the very bottom, everything. So from here, from this cat text, so scroll, just put a scroll and remove the ending tag, control X, and we now put it here, control V, control S. So now you can see we can scroll through it. Now we have the ability to scroll through everything. That's so awesome. Now our app is so cool. I can go back to the style and then put this 95% if I want. It's a completely your choice. So oops, so now it's 95%, 92, 90 is probably good. So I can go back to my home screen, and in order to have some spacing below this, not app.js, home screen, in order to have some spacing, I'm gonna import another put another spacer there. Now we have spacer. In fact, I can have two spacers there. Cool, we have two spacers. That's so awesome. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the restaurant detail screen, not the restaurant detail screen, the recipe detail screen. So how do we make that? Okay, so in order to make the detail screen, we need to set up something known as stack navigator. So now what is this stack navigator? Well, stack navigator is just something which can set up those screen type of a thing, so in which we can toggle through screens and have a lot of fun. So stack navigator is another package from React Native navigation, React navigation. So we have to add that yarn add @react navigation /stack. So now we are adding stack navigator to React Native. That's so cool, in 3 seconds. Wow. So now to set up stack navigator for our home screen, because we are gonna set it up in our home screen, we are gonna toggle through other different screens in our home screen. So for that, we'll in the src folder we'll create a infrastructure. So that's basically for the navigation of these kinds, and then in there we can write the home.navigator.js. So now in home.navigator.js, what we're gonna do, before that we can make a dummy screen, or just kind of a dummy screen as recipe detail.screen.js. That's cool. And now in here I can just import view comma text from React Native, and then we're gonna export const detail screen is equal to, it's just a dummy text. All right, so in our home.navigator, by the way, I'll just close all these tabs. It just makes us disturb, and it just makes everything so messy. Why is everything open? Import React from React. So we are importing React from React, and then we're gonna import now. Basically this time we're gonna import something from @react navigation /stack. And what are we gonna import? We're gonna import create stack navigator. It's gonna create the stack navigator for us. So now we're gonna import the home. So we're gonna first import home screen, and then we're gonna import detail screen. And now you're gonna make a stack. So const stack is equal to create stack navigator. And now we're gonna export const home, capital home navigator is equal to a React component. So we're gonna return in this. So now this is where the important part start. We're gonna return a stack.navigator as a full function. Right, so as a wrapping element, and in there we wanna write there stack.screen. So this should be, yeah, it should be closed in one tag itself, and then we're gonna write the name is equal to main. All right, so main, and then component is equal to home screen. All right, so now whenever someone calls main in the home screen, he'll be directed to this screen. And then what we wanna write there, option, we don't want to write there anything else, so we're gonna copy this now in the bottom place, and then we're gonna write the detail. By the way, main should be small m, so it's not necessary, but I prefer small m because just for the sake of simplicity. Detail screen. And now why is it telling me, giving me an error? So now basically I'm done with half of the work. Now if I just go back to my app.js, now what I want to do in app.js is I want to import this. So I can import it like from ./src/infrastructure/home.navigator. So yeah, and then you want to import home navigator. So now instead of home screen, we're gonna pass their home navigator. Now if I just press save, and if you see here, we have an error. We can't find React Native gesture handler. So for that to happen, for us to solve this error, we have to install React Native gesture handlers, and then the error would go. Cool. So as you can see, there's no error. If I just refresh the app, wow, that's cool. Our app is now up and running. So we can see the problem there is, we can see have this main here, which we don't want. We don't want to have this main written on top. So we're gonna write that options is equal to header shown, and we're gonna pass that false. That's good. So now we don't have the header anymore. Now we'll do the same for the detail screen. So now you'll say, why this beneficial? Why did we even use it? So now when we wanna click it, when we just click this, I want to be redirected to this detail screen. So that's why as I said, if you wanna play with screens and stuff, you need to use this stack navigator. Stack navigator is basically created for that. So which we now have in this application. That's why we are using it. Alright. So now let us set up let us go back to the home.screen first of all, and import touchable opacity as well. So remove this and write the touchable opacity. So touchable opacity is basically kind of a button. So yeah, and then I can write the touchable opacity, and then put this card comp inside that. So now if I just do this, if I click it, so you can see it is, whenever I'm clicking it, it is getting faded. So now what I want is, on press of it, I want to navigate to the recipe screen, the recipe detail screen. So in order to have that, we have to pass in a prop here. So prop should be named as navigation. So this navigation let us play with those screens inside of our component. So now as this gets clicked, I want to navigation dot navigate. I want to get navigated to what will we name it? Detail. So yeah, just copy and paste it here, and then we should be good to go. If I just click it now, there we go. We come to details. That's so awesome. Now one of the things if I feel it's not going wrong is when I'm clicking it, it's going to the side, and in Android and iOS it will have different animations, which we don't again want. So now for that not to happen, we have to go this to the stack navigator which we created right now, and then in the stack.navigator tag we have to add an attribute as screen options is equal to, and you add a double curly brace there, and right there, first of all import transition presets, all right, from React Native stack navigation, and in there you can write the dot transition preset dot modal slide from bottom iOS. And if you just click it and go back here, and if you just click on pizza now, you see it's sliding down. That's so cool. It's looking very nice. I can scroll through it, I can click on it, I can go back by sliding down, and then I can go back on the other recipe, and everything is going so as per needed. That's exactly what we want. So now the next step is to design this screen. So now first of all we're gonna take some arbitrary values for the recipe screen. So again we're gonna use style.js, I mean the style.style.js in order to style stuff here. So in detail screen, what we're gonna do is first of all import safe area view. We don't want to mess up with the status bar, so remove all of these things and then write the safe area view. And inside of safe area view we're gonna import container. So import container from style.style.js, then container. So now inside of container I want to have an arrow, so that arrow will let me go back to the home page. So for that I want to import ion icons. So ion icons from Expo vector icons. So in I can write that. And by the way I even want to import touchable opacity. So I can first of all make a touchable opacity there, and then I can write that ion icons name is equal to md arrow down, and then we're gonna pass in a size attribute, size prop not attribute, 30, and then a color attribute. So color is equal to gray. All right, so now we're gonna see a arrow there. So now the problem is that it's on the side of the screen. We don't want it on the side of the screen, we want it in the center of the screen. So in order to do that we're gonna use flex box, and don't be scared, I'm there. So I can make a new styled component as export const center arrow, or arrow holder is equal to style dot view, and then we're gonna write in there display flex, not flex align align items in the center, and justify space around. Cool. Now we're gonna import in, remove this text and view from here, and then import from dot slash style dot style. So arrow holder, and now I'm gonna wrap this touchable opacity in this arrow holder. So now if I just do this, you'll see the magic. See, it came into the center. That's so cool. Okay, now if I just, now what I want to have is, if I just click this like this, it should go back. I should go back to the home screen. So again, we're gonna import the navigation prop, navigation, and then we can write a on press is equal to navigation dot go back. All right, so it will it will let us go back to the home screen. So now if I just click it, see, we go back. I click Otsoti, click it, it goes back. That's cool. Now the next thing is we wanna have an image here. So in order to have that image, we wanna put a styled image there. We wanna create an image. So we can import image also, and then export const styled image is equal to styled of an image, and in there we gonna write there a width of 100%, a height of 250 px, and then border radius of 30 px. That's cool. Now we're gonna save this, and we're gonna import it in recipe details. So we can go back here, along with arrow holder we can import styled image. So now in the container itself, so by the way, this should not be in the container. Alright, so remove these arrows out of the container, right click, and then format the document, and then in this container right there, make a styled image, write a source is equal to URI of let us say this in there, and then you see we have our image there, and it looks so cool. Now if I just click this, we go back, and then we click this, it comes back, and it looks, everything is going as we intended. So now we can close all of these tabs once again, home.screen and stuff. Now the next thing which we wanna do is we wanna make the ingredient text, so basically the cat holder. So the cat holder would be something like this. So can go back to the style.style, export const cat holder is equal to style dot text this time, and in this, inside of the text we gonna write there color of hashtag 00 2d4b. That's the color which we want. We gonna font weight, basically the broadness of the font, of 600, then provide a semicolon there, and then font size of 22 px. Then we're gonna import cat holder from style triple styles, and then first of all provide a spacer there. Oh, we don't have a spacer, we're gonna create it, we have to create it now, so we'll do that. So before that, we can write the ingredients text is there, and have we created spacer there? Yeah, so we can import spacer from here. So spacer, we can just copy it and then put it in here. That's cool. We have our ingredients now here as well. So now what I wanted is, I wanted a bracket here and the number of ingredients which we have. So like suppose 6 ingredients. That's good. Now what we want to do is we're gonna add the recipe cards, so the ingredient cards basically. Let's do that. In the intro, if you saw, or if you didn't saw there, you can see it on your screen how it will look. So we're gonna basically create what you can see on your screen. In the style.style, you can export const ingredient holder is equal to style.view, and then inside of which we're gonna put some stylings here. So first we're gonna put a height of 60 px, alright, 60 pixels height, width of again 100%. We're gonna make it as wide as possible, and then border radius, so we're gonna have a border radius as well. We're gonna have those curved borders like these. All right, so border radius of 20 px, and then we're gonna have the background color of hashtag e3e3e3, and then we're gonna have a display flex as usual. Then we're gonna have a flex direction of row. We're gonna align the items here, and then we're gonna have a padding of 20 px. That's cool. We're gonna now import this ingredient holder into our app. So I can just copy this and then provide another spacer in here, spacer, and then ingredient holder. So now that looks cool. So now what we're gonna have is we're gonna have the text which is inside the ingredient. So const export const ingredient, so ingredient is equal to style dot text. All right, so inside of this what we're gonna have is we're gonna have a color. The text should have a color of black, and then should have a font size of something like 15 px, and then a margin left of 10 px. So it should be 10 px away from the margin on the left side, and then we're gonna have a font weight of 500 again. So now we're gonna import this as well here. So if I just right click and format the document, it will come in this direction. So now it is much more readable for you guys, so that's cool. Now you're gonna write down something like an ingredient, so water, if I just do it for example. So yeah, that's exactly what we want. So now what I can do is I can just pull it down a bit, copy it down 1 2 3 4 times, water 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 water. But the problem is that there is again no spacing in between, so I can just control Z everything and add a spacer, and then 1 2 3. That's cool, but it's too much space. You want spacer less there. Do we have a spacer less here? We don't have a spacer less, so we just create it. Export const spacer less is equal to style dot view. So spacer has how much padding? It has 10 px, so this will have the half of that, or let us say just not half, 6 px. So padding of 6 px. Cool. Now spacerless, I'm gonna import it again here, and instead of spacer I'm gonna replace this with spacerless. Now it looks much more readable and better. That's so cool. Now the next step is to create the toggle description button. So export const this capital D description button is equal to style dot view, and then inside of description button we're gonna have some again some styling. So padding is 16 px, so 20 px, and then a height of 60 px. We're gonna have a background color of tag 4 db 065, and then we're gonna have a border radius of 10 px. We wanna have a display of flex, and then align items center, justify content space around. That's cool. Now we're gonna import this description button into our app, into our detail screen. So now we can just below this spacerless, I can just put it there, description button. So if I just click on one of these, that's cool. So now the problem is that it is too I can't scroll through it. I want to scroll through it. So I can create, I don't need to create, I can just import the scroll which we made previously. So scroll, and I can wrap almost everything inside it. Yeah, so from the arrow holder, when I import, wrap everything inside this scroll. So now I can scroll through everything. That's so cool. But it's like it's ending here for some reason. So we're gonna create a separate scroll for our detailed scroll. So we're gonna copy it. We're gonna write that detail scroll height 95%. All right, so detail scroll, instead of scroll we're gonna have the detail scroll. Replace this with detail scroll now. Cool. So it's still too less. So what if I just have 100? Yeah, that's cool. 100% scroll. And now the next step is I want to reduce the width of this description button. So for that, what I did is I made a description button holder. Description button holder is equal to style dot view. And yeah, we're gonna have all of these traits in there: the display flex, align item center, justify content, space around. And then the next thing is I want to have this description width a bit less. So width, I can have it something like 600 px. Oops, it's 200, 400, 200, 200. Yeah, that's cool. So now I can import description button holder as well. So description button holder, I'm gonna import this now, and then I'm gonna put it here. It comes in the center now. So the next step is to create the text for the description. So for that, I just want the text which will have a font size of 15 px and then a color of white. So not 15 px, 17 px font size. Export const button text is equal to style dot text, and then you're gonna have a color of white, and then we're gonna have a font size of 17 px. That's what we want, and then we're gonna import it. Now we just want to add this here, and then we want to write their steps. All right, so steps, yes, that's cool. So now that's what we wanted to do. By mistake I've covered the arrow holder as well, so I'll just remove it, or let it be, let the arrow be inside of this. So now if I just click here, everything happens seamlessly and very nicely. So the next step is to make the description. So for that we'll again use react state. So we're gonna import use state, and then const, we can set description, set description is equal to use state, and a use state of something like true. So alright, so if true, so we can just make here first of all we'll run our function over here, run our thing over here. So we're gonna make it true. So what is it, description, so description question mark, then we're gonna make a return question mark, yeah, no return there, question mark ingredients, or this is ternary operator by the way. So it's basically an if else statement. So what it says is if description is equal to true, then do ingredients 6, or else write the steps. So I think I did it the other way around, so it should be like this. All right, so now as you can see it is step. Now if I just do it to false, now it will be ingredients. So now you'll say what, how does this help us? You'll see it in a moment. So first of again I can do it true, so in here because designing the steps, and then what I can do is I can wrap all of these description holders, no, not the ingredient holders into, or basically just wait a minute, I can copy the same thing here, And now if description is there, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna write there, we're gonna write there some text. So some text, yummy food. So that's what we want, or else we want our ingredient holders there. So I can just copy all of these ingredient holders, Control X, Command X, whatever. And by the way, if your app looks ugly, then you can just right click and format the document. By the way, please install Prettier. It's very nice. It will give you a lot of, it will benefit you a lot. And it says we don't have text, so we can just import text. So if I just click on something like pizza, and then we can see yum. So we can see if it is true, then it is showing us the description. If I just do it false, then showing us the ingredients. So that's exactly what I wanted. So now in button text, what we can do is we can wrap it inside a touchable opacity. So this touchable opacity will, what it will do is I can just do on press is equal to set description to not description, so or opposite of whatever the description is. So now if I just click it, it will become the steps, and then if I again click it, it will become the ingredients, step, ingredients, step, ingredients. That's so cool. Our app is working phenomenal. Now the next step is to have dynamic data over here. So I can go back to the home screen there, and in there what we can do is on clicking of this, we even want to send some data with it. So basically we are sending with the data which we are sending is an image. So we can just set that URL for recipe.image.url. So this should be the URL for this image. And then what else we wanna send? We wanna send an image, the ingredients. So the ingredients must be recipe dot ingredients. So let's see, did we write in this way? Yeah, recipe dot ingredients. All right, so now the next step was the steps. So steps should be recipe dot steps. So now in order to get it from there, we can pass in another parameter or another prop as routes, ROUTES, routes. And then we're gonna do a const curly brace there. Then we can have there img, sorry, what did we name it as? We name it as URI is equal to route dot params. And now if I just copy this, and then in place of the URI I put in URI itself. If I just save it, it gives me an error for some unknown reason. Why is there? Oh, you can see the error was, I don't know why the error was there. So now we are having the image which we have here. So if I just click on oats roti, we have oats roti. If I click on pizza, we have pizza. So that's exactly what we wanted. Now the next step was for the ingredients. So ingredients, so capital small I, ingredients. So now for the ingredients, what I can do is I can remove all these except one, just for reference. So I can remove all these, spacer less in bottom, and then I can write there, I can put this curly braces there, and then write the ingredients dot map. Then we gonna write the ingredient, and now we're gonna bring this there. Oops. On top. Then we're gonna wrap it inside this, because we are having multiple elements inside it, multiple divs, basically not divs, multiple views. So yeah, we're gonna do this, and in place of water we're gonna write that ingredient. So now if I just go to oats roti, for example, I can see the ingredients, but where's the ingredient? It isn't able to get the ingredients for some reason. Oh sorry, I have to write a return. I have to return these things. So yeah, just put it inside. Now we can see all of our ingredients there. Now I want these numbers to be as per the ingredients, so I can go back here, I can come here, I can write the ingredients dot length. So now we have length ingredients there, and I can wrap it in a bracket because I want that. So ingredients, 6 ingredients. Now I want there to be the proper steps, the real steps basically. So instead of this yummy food, um what I want to have is yummy food. Instead of this, I want to have the description, the real description. So steps is recipe dot steps, and then we can just call in steps here, steps, and then I can just paste it in here. So now we can see it's cool. So now ingredients, steps, we have all the steps here, and that's awesome. It's very nice, it's a great achievement. So now this thing is still the arbitrary one. We don't want it arbitrary, we want the real one. So I can go back to the home screen, I can copy this again, and instead of this latest recipe, where is it, top dishes card, I can paste it there, and wrap it inside a scroll view. So scroll, not scroll, I can make a own scroll view there. So scroll view, oh, I have to I can import a scroll view from React Native. So scroll view, I can import this scroll view over here, yeah, and then I can just close it, Control X, and then below this Control V. And now what we're gonna have in the scroll view is so instead of card comp, you can write the top dishes card title. It should be, instead of title, it should be name, right? So in top dishes card, what do we have? We don't have anything, so it's the top dishes card itself was arbitrary. So we can have the title and then image, and the title should be in here, and the image should be in here. That's cool. So now title is equal to recipe dot title, and then image should be equal to recipe dot url. So now we can see we have a pizza here. We can have, oops, we have all of our stuff now, but I want it to be vertical. I don't want it to be horizontal like this. So what we can do is write it, I mean, we want it to be horizontal, we don't want it to be vertical. All right, so don't take my words. Horizontal, it's horizontal, and then I don't want to show horizontal scroll indicator is equal to false. Now it won't show the indicator. That's cool, we have our recipes now. So we are having a touchable opacity, which is returning us to this because we copied it from the bottom side. So that's exactly what we wanted. So now I'll just show the magic. If I go here, I can write a new recipe, I can click here, I can put in this, I can write the quick dal fry, and then I can add an item, water, turmeric, then chili, then what else, I don't know, I have never made it, so I'll soon make it. All right, so I don't know what is present in there, but these are just some arbitrary values. I can do it, and I can just publish it. Oops, so if I just now publish it, I'll be able to see it here. Okay, before, until it gets loaded, so it came here. So see, we have our quick dal fry as well. So we had water, turmeric, chili, and the blank one, so we'll remove that. And then if I click on steps, we see lorem ipsum and stuff. So that's awesome. Now what we want to have is, I don't want to have more than 10 latest dishes. So in the latest dishes one, I can even I can just wrap it inside a bracket and supply index with it. So, and before return, I can write that if index is equal to 10, then just return beforehand, or else continue. So that's exactly what we want. So we have basically completed all of our apps. So the last step which is left is to save or unsave a recipe. Alright, so now we are done with almost all of the app. Just the saved feature and the search bar is left. So these features are kind of complex for the beginner. So I'm gonna make a video in the future, so which will tell you how to implement those features. So until then, we can make an arbitrary saved screen because this is looking really ugly. So now, first of all, what we can do is we can put a safe area view here. So by the way, I'm in the app.js file. So safe area view, safe area view, and then inside of safe area view I can just add a view. No need to add a view as well. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna import card comp. So card comp from component slash card comp. So you know card comp, this component, the card component basically. So you can add the card comp, and then we have our card comp. But the problem is that it is still not having any padding and it's looking really ugly. So we are gonna import container. So from sic screen style.style, and then we're gonna wrap this in the container. That's cool. So now we can just pass it an image URL. I don't have any other image, so I'm using this one. And then I'm gonna be giving it a title. The title should be quick. It is quick dal fry. That's cool. So now we are finally set up with our saved screen and all of this stuff, and the whole home screen is working. We can click on pizza, we can see what is going on there, we can check out the steps, we can go back to the ingredients, we can get all of the ingredients, we can get one beautiful image of our recipe there. And the best thing is that we can create new recipes as well. We can make another recipe. So now the image for the recipe, I'll just go to Unsplash and then I'll write here something like rice. And this I can just download it, and then I can just drag it and drop it in here. I can write that plain rice, and then items, rice, water, and salt. Yeah, I know this is real. Alright, so and then I can, in the steps I can write there mix all of the above in a pressure cooker and let it whistle for something like 2-3 times, 4 times, and bam, it is ready. Alright, that's a very basic description. So now I'm gonna just publish it, and now if I just go here, I'll be able to see my new recipe as well. And there we go, we have our plain rice as well. So if I just click on this plain rice, we are able to see our rice, we are able to see the ingredients, rice, water, salt, and we are able to toggle the steps, and we can see all the steps. We can go back there, we can close the view, we can go down, you can check out the saved ones. It's not working, it's gonna work in the future, don't worry. And then everything is working as we intended. So what else did you want? So it's a very nice project for the beginner, and we are learning so many new concepts. That's so freaking awesome. So I hope you liked the video. I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you very much for watching, and hope for such more videos in the future. Thank you.